Hey everyone, welcome back to the CG Artist Academy, and here we are in the second part of this tutorial, and today we're going to create ice cubes. Okay, so if we talk about the ice cubes, these are the pieces of which has been broken. Okay, and these are the imperfect pieces of the ice cubes, so it should be imperfect. We're going to create this ice cube effect with two ways. So let's jump to the very first one. Okay, so here we are in Houdini. First of all, we will create a geo node and we'll rename it to ice cubes. Double click or press I to get inside the node, and here let's create a cube. Our cube is created, and after the cube we will create a mountain node. And here we can see that it doesn't have enough polygon to apply this deformation. So what we can do is, instead of primitive type polygon, we will use the mesh. So now you can see that it's been deformed. So after this deformation, or before that, we will change few settings in this mountain. So you can change those settings by like increasing the height. You can see that you can manipulate the deformation, and with this element size, and here in octaves, if you increase the octaves, the quality of your deformer will increase. Okay, so here in the box, let's change it to polygon mesh, and with the axis subdivisions we'll go for the 7. Okay, so this much deformation I need for this, and in between let's add a UV node. UV unwrap. Okay, let's place it in between the box and the mountain. So if I want to see my UVs, I can like type quick shade, and you can see that it's a perfect UV. So let's enable the mountain and create another node. So now we will create a ISO offset node, and after that we will create the scatter node, so that we can get the scatter points in the volume like this. Because if I bypass this node, my points will be on the faces or the surface of the object, not in the volume. So with this ISO offset node, I created the volume, and then I applied the scatter points. Okay, so I don't need 1000 points, I just need only 60 points, I guess. Yeah, these much are enough. And after that I'll create a Voronoi fracture, and let's put in the second input of the Voronoi the scatter point, and the mountain in the first one. Okay, and let's see how it looks. So it has created the cut points. Create a node called explode. So now you can see that I can see all the points scattered with this explode node. So these are the points which has been created by this Voronoi fracture. Okay, and if I increase these points like 100, so you can see that the pieces are increasing. Okay, but with this way there is an issue. Okay, and the issue is, if I see inside, I don't see any details. Okay, so if I go in my cubes, you can see that there are details in that, because once the cube is broken, you can see that little tiny details. So to create that, we can't follow this process, I guess. I can say that Houdini have so many ways to do things. Definitely we can add those details here, but it will be, I guess, a lengthy process. So to avoid that, I actually approached the different route. Okay, and the different route is with the RPD material fracture. In this, Houdini has all those features which I'm creating right here, but with more details. Okay, So let's create that RBD material fracture. It takes time to create that node. Okay, and after the mountain, let's connect your mountain in the first node and enable this. It will take some time to calculate and give you the result, and yeah, it's created. And again, it did the same thing with these cracks and all these pieces. Okay, why it's created that? Because it's doing the same thing. It created that volume, then it scattered the points, and according to the scatter points, it created these parts or cracks. Okay, so again, if I want to see my fracture geometry, so let's connect this explode view to the geometry. Let's create that, and now you can see that it's breaking my cube, but still it's the same issue like we had the earlier. It doesn't give me the inner details. Okay, but it has that property, so let's enable that. Now select your RBD material fracture and go to your details, and here click on this edge details. Again, it will take some time to calculate, and now you can see that it already created some details. Now it's not completely flat, correct? So if I disable this wireframe node, smooth shaded, you can see that it's not flat. It has those details like this here. So with this node, you can create easily these inside details. If you want to add more details, what you can do is go to your details, and here you will find another option, interior details. Just click on that, and again it will take some time to calculate, and now you can see that you have created all the inside details. If I disable that, it's like quite a flat, and if I disable this edge details, it's completely flat. So layer by layer you can add these details. Let's enable this edge details, and after that interior details, and you can see that now it's looking far better than the earlier. After that, we have another thing. If you see in my output, we have these small pieces of the ice cubes, which actually created the another node, which is an inbuilt thing, which is chipping. If I enable chipping, let's see what it gives. Now you can see that those small pieces it has created, because these are the small details, because when something breaks, it will create those small pieces also. So it's very important to do that. And one more thing, if you want to increase your details, if you want to increase your pieces, what you can do is increase these scatter points. Like if I do the 7, so now it has more details, those small pieces, and with the explode you can actually see kind of this. It has now small pieces with the big chunks and the small chunks, and it looks pretty realistic, just like I had in this. So after that, what I did is I just created the raw Palembic node and exported the geometry as a single frame, because it was a art directed still image. I just wanted to create this thing manually, so that's why I just exported all these things and placed each and every pieces manually. So if you want to simulate it, if you want to simulate these pieces on the ground, you can do that definitely, but for me it works this way. So I guess if you're creating a still image, then definitely you should export that and place it accordingly, according to your art direction. Okay, So that's how I created the ice cubes, and it was the first option, first way to create it. Okay, but I thought, if I want more detail, if I want more controls, what should I do that? So I find another way to create ice cubes. Actually, if you see, I can show you the pieces which I actually created manually, not with this RBD material fracture. Okay, those pieces are like this one is the piece, this is the piece, this is that piece, this is that piece. Okay, so these are the pieces which I created manually. So let me show you how to create that way. So here we are in Houdini again. Let's create a geonode again, and again rename it ice cube. Always rename your nodes, because it's very good habit. You should do that. And let's press I to get inside the node, and here we will create the sphere this time, and primitive type to be polygon, and frequency would be around 50. And after that we will add a UV node, because sometimes we forget that, so I always try to add a UV node first. Okay, so UV node is created, and after that we'll create a attribute warp. Attribute warp is created, and let's jump into this. And here we need to create two nodes. First we will create the unified noise, and let's make it big. Connect your P to its position, which is here. Okay, and next we will create the displacement, displace along normals. Okay, here in the unified noise, connect this noise to its amount, and in the geometry warp global, P to its P, and here displacement P to the P. Okay, so it's almost ready. And here in the unified noise, I will promote few attributes, because I don't want to like every time come inside and change those parameters. I just want over here to get those nodes on this attribute warp. Like here we have to promote those parameters. So to do that, just click on your unified noise. So let's start promoting it. To promote, we have to click on this icon, like the setting one, and let's click on that and select the promote parameter again, and let's leave those as it is. And after that, let's promote this, and I guess for now these are the only parameters I want to promote. If later we want, we can promote that again. Let's go outside and enable this attribute warp, so it doesn't look like a shape of the cube. So let's change few settings. In the noise type, we will go with the worldly cellular, and now you can see that it giving me those curves, those rigid edges. Okay, and here in fractal I will use the terrain. So you can see that deformation is already happening over here, correct? Because ice cube doesn't look flat, it has those minor noise kind of thing, so which we are getting over here also. change these parameters, you can anytime change the frequency. Like it will take some time to calculate when you change. You can see that. So what frequency you are okay with, it's depends on you. And you can do the offset also, so you will get the results like this wherever you are okay. So for me it works around 0.9 for this, and the offset is 0.8. Yeah, and for the octaves I will go with 15, and here 2, and it works for me for the first shape. So like I created this one, I create multiple of those. So all I need to do is just duplicate that. Like this is the first copy, and let's copy it and paste it by Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. It will take some time, and now you can see that the second option is here. Okay, and here I can change the settings. For this one I will use around setting of 1. And in the offset I don't want any values, so let's 0. And here in octaves let's put it 10. Here 1 and 0.65. So I get this shape, and in the fractal type I will choose the hybrid terrain. So yeah, the first one was that, second one is this, and you can change your settings. It would be 1.5. you will get some noise and all. So yeah, that's how you can manually create your cubes, and these are the settings, are the noise values. You can definitely change at any point of time, and to get the desired look. Okay, so you can create as many as you want to get the desired look. Okay, so there are the these are the two ways with you can create the ice cubes, I guess. I know, like I said before, in Houdini there are multiple ways to do things. Okay, and there are more ways to create the desired look, and it's nothing wrong with that. Okay, it all depends on which version or which way you like. Okay, for me it looks fine for me, because when I rendered these things it looks nice to me. So that's why I approach this way. If you have different way, then please let me know in the comment below. And so that's how I created these ice cubes with these two methods. The first one with the RBD material fracture, and the second one is with the attribute warp, with the stylized kind of cubes, which I can place definitely where I want. If I don't feel good with like this, I don't want this piece, so definitely I can replace that piece with this. Okay, so it completely depends on you, and you should have the leverage, you should have that control in your hand to create stuffs, because many a times director wants something which you cannot create with the RBD thing, but with this node definitely you have more possibility to create things. I hope you like this tutorial, and this was the second part of this tutorial, and in the last part I will teach you how to export the geometry and import in the any DCC application. If you want to do it in a Houdini also, you can do that, but I did that in Maya, so I will show you the process which I approach in Maya, how I lit the scene, how I created the materials and rendered it out. Okay, in the down below I have my social links. If you like my work, you can follow me over there also. And if you find this tutorial helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. and share with your colleagues, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.